Guys, welcome back to a new video. So in today's video we are going to be hopping back on the Honda EZ90 CUB. It is a couple weeks into April and we got to have this thing up and going by my birthday. Again, for those of you all who don't know, this is my Honda EZ90 CUB. I plan on taking it to the Smoky Mountain Small Bore Rally in June. We're going to be ripping this thing down the tail of the dragon, all through the foothills and all that good stuff. Should be a blast. Hopefully everything's good to go. If you all did not see last video, I took you all for a very quick spin on this thing to show you that it does start, it does run. You can check that out here. Now it did run, but not as great as I would like, and I definitely wouldn't say it is the most reliable for a trip to Townsend, Tennessee and to ride the tail of the dragon. So we got to do a lot of work to this, including installing a bunch of aftermarket bits that I have for this bike. All of this stuff I had sourced through a guy. His name is Andrew. He's on the Honda EZ9 North American Facebook group. I'll put a link here as well if you want to reach out to that group and maybe reach out to him to get some parts. But we got to start getting this bike all torn apart so we can start installing all of the aftermarket parts and hopefully get this thing running a little bit better and quicker too. So the goal in this video is to remove all of the plastics and kind of get it down to the frame. We're also going to pull off the carburetor and we are going to install a gasket kit that I got from CMS. This is a gasket kit for the carburetor. So we're going to rebuild the carb so it's not leaking anything. And once we get that all done, we're going to also inspect the frame, make sure there's not any unforeseen damage, see if there's any other parts underneath the plastics that we're going to need to take care of. I do know we're going to have to fix a couple of broken tabs, a couple of fitment issues, stuff like that, but we got to get all that stuff ordered in here as quick as possible if we want this thing ready for the rally in June. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and hop back onto the bike and get to work. Alright guys, welcome back. So the EZ90 CUB has been fully stripped of all of its plastic pieces, and I gotta say, even though they are a little bit dinged up, a little bit dirty, it's a complete bike, right? So I think I pretty much have every plastic piece on the bike, and let me show you all of these put together. It's kind of a not very common sight to see here. Honestly, if I were to take all of these plastics and sell them individually, I probably would have enough money to buy another EZ90. I mean, if you look online, these plastics, man, they are worth so much money. And of course, they are kind of dinged up. They are dirty. We've got a couple of tabs missing on some of them. They're definitely not perfect, but the fact that I've got them all is really cool for this bike. And the story is very similar when you look underneath all the plastics on the main part of the bike, the frame and all of the engine components and all that good stuff. Most of it is there. It just really needs to be kind of cleaned up and maintained. Now there are a couple of things that are missing. Up here, the original oil delivery system for the fuel has been kind of half-assed deleted, I guess. They basically just unplugged the tank and left all the internals there, and then they run pre-mix in the tank. Also, this little piece right here, this is a chain slider. It is gone, completely disintegrated. Who knows, this is probably the original one to the bike, and of course this bike was ridden, so that chain guard has gone away and is going to need to be replaced. And if we take a look at the carburetor, you can see kind of the condition of it. Now, this carburetor is going to need to be pulled off and cleaned like I mentioned before, but this thing probably ran pretty rough because, I mean, look, this isn't even tight. Looks like there's areas over here for air to get in the carburetor. Also, I have no idea what this is, and I have no idea what this little T is here, but there are some lines on the carburetor that have been completely disconnected, so I can only imagine that this is running pretty lean. So definitely anxious to get this carburetor off, pull it apart, and rebuild it, and make sure everything is nice and tight when it goes back on the bike. Yeah, I guess with all that being said, let's hop back on the bike. Well guys, I'm in the middle of disassembly on the Cub, and I just wanted to stop and show you a couple of things. So I know a lot of stuff was bypassed on this bike, like the original oil pump and all that kind of stuff, so definitely some shoddy like wiring going on. Like I mentioned before, there were some things unplugged from the carburetor that didn't look great. This was, I believe, for the kickstand. They kind of looped that back in on itself so that it didn't have the sensor for the kickstand active. But I was looking over here and I saw some oil. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's definitely some oil buildup right here on this corner of the head. And I was a little bit worried about it because I am thinking that maybe the, I don't know, the head gasket might be leaking or something along those lines. And I come up here and I check my spark plug. Now, I just removed the boot off of this spark plug. Nothing else. Just remove the boot off the spark plug. And look at how loose it is. Like, it's literally finger tight, dude. Not even. Like, I'm literally unscrewing it right now. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just unscrewing it with my fingers. So, yeah. So I'm guessing that it probably leaked a good bit of oil from up in there and kind of started pulling up down here on the corner of the head. So I don't know, maybe I don't have a gasket leak, but that definitely could not have been helping this bike. So I am really glad I'm taking it apart and checking everything to make sure everything's in spec, because that is definitely creating a pretty big lean event if I had to guess. So anyway guys, I'm going to continue on and I'll update you when I got some more progress to show. There we go. Hey guys, welcome back. So we have the engine out of the EZ90. This is pretty much stripped all the way down to the frame. So here's the engine. By the way, my buddy got me this engine stand. Super nice, super helpful for taking this thing out of the bike by yourself. But anyway, no huge major issues that I see other than we talked about the spark plug earlier, and then also just, I mean, it's just super grimy and dirty for the most part. I don't think there's any real big leaks. I don't expect like the rings or anything need to be changed in this. It would be nice to kind of, I don't know, take it apart and replace those because I've got it out, but I don't think there's any real need to do that at the moment, so I might skip that, might not do that. But we'll see. We'll see how things look when I start cleaning it up and everything. And as for the frame, I mean, everything's looking actually super good. There are some spots where we're missing paint, and maybe I'll buy some touch-up and touch up some of those areas. But I think after a super deep clean on this frame, I think everything will look much better. Look at all this like grass and stuff that's been sitting in there for who knows how long. We'll clean all that out, get this thing looking super nice, and we have an aftermarket shock that I'm going to be putting in here as well. I'll be curious to see how much that affects the height, but we're definitely going to be doing that too. Also, we're going to be getting new tires on here, but I admit I've never actually removed a tire from a wheel like this before, so it's going to be a learning experience. I might try to do it myself, but also I don't know if I want to completely destroy these rims, so we will see. Alright, so next I think I'm going to go ahead and start tackling the engine and getting that looking a little bit cleaner. Also pulling the frame out into the driveway, cleaning that up as well. Once I get all that done, we will probably clean the carburetor, and also we will start cleaning and refreshing all of these plastic pieces and hopefully repairing any sort of broken parts that we find. We'll see how far we get in this video. I don't really know how much I'm going to do, but let's go ahead and get back to work. Jeez. Wow. That was all sorts of cross-threaded on there. Look at the inside of that bolt. That was crazy cross-threaded on there. Probably gonna have to get a new bolt and nut for the back. Hitting too far out. There we go. I'm done for today. Damn, these suck. Okay. This is terrible, dude. Should have just freaking paid somebody. Well, went out into the sun and let the tires heat up, and I was actually able to get them off. That sucked a lot. So, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna prep them for paint, and then I'm gonna mount the tires back on these, being as careful as I can not to damage anything, but then I'll probably end up painting the faces while the tire is actually on the rim. I just don't trust myself enough to not screw up the paint job. So I think that's next on the list. All right, guys, so here's where we're at. The Honda EZ90 is fully stripped down. I've got that piece of plastic there because I'm working on a little side project that I'll show you all a little bit later. But most all of this stuff is removed. I still got to take the swing arm off, and I'm going to replace it with one that I was able to get off eBay that's pretty much brand new painted. So pretty cool score there. I won't have to worry about painting that. But we do have a little bit of work we need to do to the frame. I do want to scuff up some sections of this. Also scuffing up down here where all this rust is. I've decided that I'm not going to get it powder coated at the moment just because of time and money. So I am just going to kind of clean it up and paint it with some touch-up paint in that Shasta white from Honda. So hopefully it'll look pretty good, but eventually at some point in time I'll take everything apart and get it powder coated. Now over here are all of the components that I am also going to be kind of stripping down, sanding, and painting. I'm going to prep those for paint in the next video. We got to get rid of a lot of little rust bits here, sand these down pretty good. The front wheel's not nearly as bad, but the rear wheel has a lot of chips in it and all that kind of stuff. Also the fork tubes, they've seen better days, so I definitely want to refresh a lot of this stuff in preparation for the small bore rally. I am going to enter this into a contest of some sort. I don't know what category, but I want it looking really nice for the rally. And last but certainly not least is the engine. Now, this is probably going to ruffle some people's feathers, but I have decided that I'm probably not going to take this particular piece off because it requires a special tool that I just don't have. I was originally going to pull this off and replace the seal that's in there. It does look like it might be leaking a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. Again, this might just be buildup from, 1991 when this thing was built. Who knows if it's ever been cleaned out or whatnot. So I'm just going to leave it the way that it is, get the bike together, and then I'm going to ride it around and see how it responds. If it responds good and I don't have any issues, then I think we're going to be okay for the rally to just leave this how it is. Of course, I am replacing the belt and everything, and the rollers, but the seal is what I'm talking about underneath this plate here. If it runs well, I'm not going to do anything with it. If it runs like it's got a major air leak, then I'll probably just replace this while it's on the bike. Well, guys, if you like this sort of content and want to see more, please smash that thumbs up button and consider pressing the subscribe button below to be notified when I post more content on this particular build. If you're not subscribed and you're going to the Smoky Mountain Small Bore Rally, you should see it finished there, hopefully, if I get it all done. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more EZ90 content. Also, some other content in the garage that we'll be getting into after this build is done. And until next time, I'll see you later.